Great. So, welcome students of ABR. I think we are meeting up after quite some time, right? We are meeting up after somewhere around, yes, frankly, about 1.5 to 2 months' time. So, welcome. I'm welcoming you all very warmly. The entire world is going after a pandemic situation, and you have heard all these negative comments. Economies will fall down, and everything is there. But somehow the life has to move on. Life has to move on, and you have to face the exam as well. Exam is also there, but IAS could not reach you for some 1.5 months time due to the obvious reasons. But now IAS has rectified the online platform, and they have done a superb job. IAS has done a superb job in giving you online lessons until the authorities allows these tuition providers to commence these physical classes. So now students, these physical classes, we know when the authorities will allow to commence. So until such time we will meet like this. We will meet in this online platform in this way, and we will conduct our classes in this manner. So it's extremely important for all of you students to not to lose your study touch. Study touch is very important. You have to be with the syllabus, you have to be with the work, you have to have the study touch. So it's important to have study touch, and IAS will make sure that you guys will somehow get engaged with the subject. And from my end, I will ensure that you learn the best, right? You will not lose anything. You will not lose anything. You will somehow be with the subject as well. So that's what from my end, the simple story that I have to tell you. And you strategic level students, you know how to manage stuff, right? So before this COVID pandemic outbreak came and the lockdown started, we were in the middle of we completed the corporate governance, right? We did a superb job with the corporate governance. We did all the theory parts. Corporate governance, Code of Best Practice on Corporate Governance 2017. We have done a super job with that. We did all the theory parts. Then we had to do the questions, right? I told you. The questions I will be doing, so you guys will revise what we have done. And questions we can do, right? We can do when we start the physical classes, so sometimes through videos if the physical classes are dragging on. So we commenced the Code of Ethics, if you can remember. We commenced the Code of Ethics, Code of Best Practice for Professional Accountants, Code of Ethics 2016. We have commenced, we started it. But we started and we went through only the basic introductory parts, right? Then the lockdown came. So what we do here, we will go through the Code of Ethics from fresh, right? Code of Ethics, we will start from fresh and we will go fresh and we will learn it. And remember people, we will be doing Code of Ethics for 2-3 videos. And after which we will be starting auditing standards, SLAUSS, Sri Lanka auditing standards. So you have to be ready with Code of Ethics 2016 today. Get your Code of Ethics booklet with you right now. And we will be doing the highlighting part which we were doing, and the bookmarking part, everything. So get with this, gather this. And hopefully you guys have auditing standards as well, right? Auditing standards. If not, I will try to somehow distribute among you the auditing standards, so you will not miss much. Code of Ethics is here. So we'll start with the Code of Ethics, right? So I need all of you to get this as well as your notebook together with this, as well as any what you call these sticky notes which you use for bookmarking purposes, right? Sticky notes also, take them into your place, right? So for all these, I will give you about 2 minutes. Take that time and what you call get ready with those with you, right? Right. Good. Great. Code of ethics. So for you all, the relevant code of ethics is Code of Sri Lanka, Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka, Code of Ethics of 2017. Code of Ethics of 2017. We did the introductory part as I told you, but we will go from fresh because I know that most of you have forgotten everything, right? Forgotten everything. So we'll go from fresh. Now students, you all one day will be fully qualified professionals. You will be fully qualified professionals. Members of a professional accountancy body. It's the premier accountancy body of Sri Lanka. So if you are members of a professional body, professional institute or a professional organization, students, right now, right, you will be members in hopefully in 1 year's time, right? Students, you will not be able to do your work as you wish. If you are a member of a particular professional organization, professional membership, you can't work as you wish. Therefore, the relevant professional institute which you got the membership gives you a framework of your behavior, provides you a framework of your behavior, the relevant professional institute. Therefore, the CA Sri Lanka, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka, we call it the CA Sri Lanka, has given an ethical framework for us to guide our behavior. Ethical framework for us to guide our behavior. The CA Sri Lanka has given an ethical framework to guide our behavior. So, CA Sri Lanka's Code of Ethics. Code of Ethics. This particular booklet, which you have to refer in the exam, it gives you the ethical principles of your behavior. Ethical principles of your behavior. Then it gives you threats to your ethical principles. If you work ethically, if you work in an ethical manner, what are the threats that will be falling on you? That these things, the ethical threats also given in the particular booklet, Code of Ethics. So ethics are there, threats to independence are there. Then CA Sri Lanka has given you an ethical framework. We call it conceptual framework for you to guide. So it gives you situations of ethical issues, situations of ethical dilemmas, situations of ethical issues, situations of ethical dilemma, and it gives you how to safeguard against them. It tells you, it gives you guidance how to safeguard against those ethical issues. Get my point? Imagine the situation now. If you are a member of CA Sri Lanka, sometimes one of your clients will offer you a bribe. They may offer you a bribe for the purpose of getting some opinion bias towards them. Bribe. Or if you are working as let's say a member of a tender evaluation committee in a government organization, sometimes a supplier may offer you a bribe. If you don't accept the bribe, supplier may try to intimidate you as well. So those are the issues that you will face. At that time, you can't behave in a way like a normal person behaves. So how you behave, what you have to do, everything is given by the profession to you. That it is given by this particular booklet, Code of Ethics. So, if you take the Code of Ethics, students, right, this Code of Ethics has 3 parts, right? Code of Ethics has 3 parts. Turn to page Roman number 1. Page Roman number 1. Code of Ethics has general application of the code. It has given you the ethical principles. Look at that. Introduction of fundamental principles, integrity, objectivity, professional competence and due care, confidentiality and professional behavior. Then general application of the code is given to you. Then part B, professional accountants in public practice. Members who are in practice, who are doing auditing. Practice. What are the guidance given to you? Part B. Part B, members in public practice. What do you have to do? Then students, part C, professional accountants in business. What do you have to do? If you are employed somewhere, what you got to do is given in part C. So likewise, this particular booklet, Code of Ethics, which you can download from Institute's website as well, divided into 3 parts, part A, B and C. Okay? And go to page number 3. Page number 3. Page number 3, in that very important point is there for you. Extremely important point. It says ethical behavior. Look at this. Look at this. Ethical behavior. I will introduce you what are the ethical principles, fundamental principles of ethics in few minutes time. But this ethical behavior, good behavior, is it a, what do you call, discretionary behavior, or is it a mandatory behavior by a member? Is it discretionary or is it mandatory? It's extremely important, students. Ethical behavior is mandatory for all the members. Get the point? Ethical behavior is mandatory for all the members. Mandatory. So, if you do not abide by ethical principles, there may be some, maybe repercussions on you. Maybe, I don't know, I don't say, maybe disciplinary actions. Sometimes this may lead to revoking of your membership as well, if the ethics are so bad. I don't say, but maybe. So, ethical behavior is mandatory. Go to page number 3, point number 2. Page 3, point number 2. See, the code is highlighted. Mandatory for all members of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka to observe in respect of the performance of professional services in Sri Lanka after 15 July 2017. So the code is mandatory for all the members of the institute. So we are moving on to page number 5. Page 5. As I told you, students, I will always do with this particular booklet itself, institute given, because then this book itself you can use at the exam hall as well as your open book. Right, good. We will learn fundamental principles of ethics. Go to page number 6 in the booklet, Code of Ethics, page number 6. You would have done highlighting earlier, because in the class we would have done the highlighting, everything. But extremely important, students. Once again we will read and we will understand, because rather than doing things from the middle, we will learn them from the beginning itself, right? Good. We learn the first point. Public interest. Very important. See this. Public interest. Now, professional accountants, members of CA Sri Lanka, we are in a profession as accountants, members of CA Sri Lanka, we are in a profession of public interest. That means whatever we do is looked upon by the general public. General public looks at what we do. So we are in a highly scrutinized industry. Highly scrutinized industry. So we will have repercussions since we have a public interest. Since our work is being scrutinized by the general public, by the government, by the public at large, very important it is for us to have our behavior in an ethical manner. Public interest is very important. So go to page number 6, point 100.1. Read that. Introduction and fundamental principles. A distinguishing mark of the accountancy profession is its acceptance of the responsibility to act in the public interest. Underline. We have to care public interest. Extremely important. So, what we have to do? Point number 102. Point 102. This code contains 3 parts. As I told you, part A establishes fundamental principles of professional ethics for professional accountants, provides conceptual framework that the professional accountant shall apply for, highlight. Identify threats, evaluate the threats, and part C, highlight, apply proper safeguards. So part B and C, point number 103, part B and C describes how the conceptual framework applies in certain scenarios. Very important, extremely important. Good, right. I will be once again go to, I will start from the beginning of the ethics, right? Just to ask from you, what you have done at your curfew period where you stayed at home, what you guys did at those times. Hopefully you did something important for your, for your physical stability and mental stability, for let's say, for your studies. Hopefully you did something good, right? So if you did it, it's extremely good. Otherwise, the time would have just gone, right? This time will not come once again. So, principles of ethics. Page number 7. Page 7 in Code of Ethics. Page 7. Great. Look at this. Just give me a moment. These days it's extremely hot. Right? Great. Page number 7. These principles of ethics say, you learnt all these from your either CAP 1 or either CAP 1, CAP 2, from Business Level 1, Business Level 2, whatever. Code of ethics say every accountant, member of CA Sri Lanka, should have these 5 ethical principles in their behavior. These 5 ethical principles should be there in the ethical behavior of a member. First one, members of CA Sri Lanka should have integrity. If you remember, what's integrity, students? Integrity means straightforward and honesty. Straightforward and honest. Members of CA Sri Lanka should be straightforward and honest. Honesty, people say honesty is the best practice. Straightforward and honest. Should not accept bribes, should not do any wrong thing, should not take any undue advantage, any unprofessional profits, should not gain commissions, bribes, things like that. Honesty and straightforwardness is meant by integrity. Number 2, objectivity. Members have to be unbiased, fair, avoid conflict of interest. Very important. Members of CA Sri Lanka shall be unbiased. Unbiased. Members, sometimes you have to be put in a situation where your heart and your mind will be tested. I will tell you what is it. And members have to be fair, unbiased and fair. Your judgment, your work should not be biased to anyone. It should not be biased to you. It should not be biased to your employer. It should not be biased to your client as well. Should not be biased. You have to be fair. And also you will be put in situations, there will be conflict of interest on you. There will be conflict of interest. Put into situations where you will be put into conflict of interest. What's this conflict of interest? මොකද්ද මේ conflict of interest කියලා කියන්නේ? Conflict of interest means you, chartered accountant, your interest as well as profession's interest will conflict with each other. Or you, chartered accountant, your interest and the interest of another person conflict with each other. Classic example. Now get an example. Now imagine I'm a member of CA Sri Lanka, right? One of my close family members is critically ill. Unfortunately, hopefully not happen. Critically ill. Now I don't have money as well. Sallit naha, right? I spent hell of a lot of money for the medication and everything. So I don't have money. I'm working in a place, organization. All of a sudden, one of my customers, or let's say suppliers, comes and offer me a bribe. Offer me a bribe and says, sir, I know that your personal financial situation is not that good, sir. If you award me this particular contract, sir, you can use this particular money I have given to you for your, let's say, that particular family member's medical expenditure. So what happens, people? There is issue. What is the issue? I have an interest. What is the interest? My interest is the well-being of my family member. I want money to spend. But on the other hand, there is a profession's interest. If I get that money, I'll be taking a bribe. It's not integrity, right? So I'll be biased towards someone. Conflict of interest. My interest conflicting with the profession's interest. Sometimes my interest will conflict with organization's interest, right? If I get more bonus, sometimes organization will be in the disadvantage. Get the point? So at that time, we are facing conflict of interest, students. Conflict of interest. Conflict of interest. Extremely important, right? So objectivity means that professional accountants should be unbiased, fair, and avoid conflict of interest. Extremely important. Number 3, professional accountants should have professional competence. Professional competence means you have to accept jobs, duties, assignments, things which you can do only. Get the point? Koranna bari weda bara ganna epa. Professional competence means that on a single kiwwa. I told you in your words. Professional competence means professional accountants should accept work which you can actually diligently, competitively do. If not, don't accept them. Example, I am doing a small audit firm with 2 laptops and 2 trainees. Can I go and do this audit of the Sri Lanka Telecom PLC? Even though how lucrative that particular audit is, will I be able to do? You won't be able to do, students. So at that time, take my point, conflict of interest and everything will be there if you obtain that particular assignment. So members will only obtain professional duties they can do only. Professional competence means that. Professional competence does not mean you obtain that particular membership only. After you get in the membership, what you have to do? You have to continuously maintain the knowledge to provide a quality service to your clients. After getting the membership, you can't forget about everything. You got my point? Membership pe gattara passe ar okkoma amatak karanna bෑ. Agree. If you obtain the membership, yes, you have to continuously update yourself. This is not like something A level, O level where you pass and you just forget everything. This you have to continuously. You have to update yourself. That's the point, people. It's professional competence. Members have a continuing duty to maintain their professional knowledge at a level where they will provide quality, competent services to their clients. Extremely important. Next one, confidentiality. Confidentiality. We'll go and read this booklet as well, right? Okay. Confidentiality. What is confidentiality? Whatever the information you get from your professional assignments, tana gihilla kiyawanawada? Can you do it? No. Whatever the information that you obtain from your professional assignments, just do not go places to places and just don't put those information into the ears of other personnel. Those clients' confidential information. Students, whatever the confidential information you obtain from your professional assignments should be within you, within your firm, not outside, should be limited. Members should not divulge professionally acquired information to third parties or for the benefits of third parties or for the professional accountant himself. Get my point? Clients provide you their professionally confidential information. Believing, trusting yourself, being a professional. Getting that information and going there and just chatting with those information, is it allowed? It's not allowed, students. It's not allowed. Take the point. Very important, right? Confidentiality. However, this particular point of confidentiality will not be applied. There are 3 exceptions. 3 exceptions of confidentiality are there. What are those 3 confidentiality exceptions? First one, if the client himself says in writing, you can divulge this confidential information to third parties in writing, in a letter. If it is given to the member, then member can go here and there and just divulge those information. Number 2, if those information needed for a legal case, for a legal proceeding, then again, member can't wait and see until I get the let's say employers or my client's approval. No. If those information is required by court of law for a legal proceeding, for a legal case, then you just go and present those information to that. Then that particular confidentiality theory is not valid. Third one, if those information is needed by a professional investigation by a professional membership body, professional investigation by a professional membership body, like what? Like CA Sri Lanka for a professional investigation, like a quality control review. Your audit file of the client is required by the CA Sri Lanka for a quality control review. At that time, can you say, CA Sri Lanka, this is confidential information, I will not give you? You can't do that, students. You have to provide those information. That is an exception to the confidentiality principle. Extremely important. Confidentiality. 3 exceptions. Professional behavior. Professional behavior means member of CA Sri Lanka should be abiding, comply to laws and regulations, relevant ethical standards, relevant countries' laws. You have to be abiding to laws, regulations, ethical, professional standards, as well as your behavior should not be a disrepute to the profession's behavior. Extremely important, students. Whatever you do should not be a disrepute to your profession. Karana වැඩවලින් profession එකට කිසිම disrepute එකක් වෙන්න බෑ. Get my point? So, there are 5 ethical principles. What are the 5 ethical principles you have? First one, integrity. What is it? Members of CA Sri Lanka should be straightforward and honest. Second one, objectivity. What is it? Unbiased, fair, avoid conflict of interest. Number 3, professional competence. You have to obtain and do only competent jobs, and you have to a duty continuing to maintain professional competence among you towards until you die. The fourth one, confidentiality. You should not disclose confidential information to third parties. However, there are 3 exceptions. If those information is needed by court of law, you can provide. If those information is needed by a professional investigation, you will provide. Or if those information, if your client in writing specifically say you can disclose them, you may do that. Fifth one, professional behavior. Member of CA Sri Lanka should be guided by complying to all relevant laws, regulations in the country. You should be guided by your professional ethical standards as well. Then finally, your behavior should not be a disrepute to your profession. That is it. Go to page number 7. Page number 7 in your code of ethics. If you have already highlighted, no matter, doesn't matter. It's okay, quite okay. Guys, give me a moment. Right. Page number 7. Fundamental principles. A professional accountant shall comply with the following fundamental principles. First one, integrity. If you have not done the highlighting තාම කළා නැත්නම් පොඩ්ඩක් කරගත්තර කමන්නේ. Integrity. First one, to be straightforward and honest in all professional and business relationships. Straightforward and honest in all professional and business relationships. Integrity. Number 2, part B, objectivity. Not to allow biasness, unbiased. Avoid conflict of interest. Avoid undue influence of others to override professional or business judgments. Part C, professional competence and due care. To maintain professional knowledge and skills. Highlight. Maintain professional knowledge and skills at the level required to ensure that client or employer receives competent professional services based on current developments. Part D, confidentiality. To respect the confidentiality of information acquired as a result of professional and business relationship, and therefore not disclose any such information to third parties without proper and specific authority unless there is a legal or professional right of duty to disclose. No use information for personal advantage or professional advantage to anyone. Next one, professional behavior. To comply with relevant laws and regulations and to avoid any conduct that discredits the profession. Good. Good. Read these once again. Take a moment and read them. Read page number 7, the professional principles once again, and internalize them. Read them once again. Right. Look at this. Now, if you are a member of CA Sri Lanka, right, working ethically, students, ethical behavior is always not tolerated by many. Ethical behavior is always not tolerated by many. You will be put on, there will be threats on your behavior. Threats to the fundamental principles of ethical behavior. Threats will be there on you. Threats. So there are 5 threats on your ethical behavior. Threat number 1, self-interest. Self-interest means the professional accountant will have an interest that will conflict with the interest of the profession. The member will have an interest that will conflict with the interest of the profession, like integrity, like let's say objectivity, like professional competence. Our interest, professional accountant's interest, will conflict with profession's interest. Example, obtaining a bribe. We have an interest of personal well-being, more assets, more money. But if you have that interest, even if you, with that interest, if you let's say get a bribe, what will happen? That will violate the profession's interest of integrity. It will violate objectivity as well. Self-interest. Self-interest means professional accountant's personal interest will violate the interest of the profession. There are a lot of situations we'll be discussing how self-interest will affect. Self-review means professional accountant will review his or her own work subsequently, which the earlier work also done by the same accountant. Self-review. Once again, self-review means the work done by the professional accountant reviews by the same professional accountant. Where, example, the professional accountant, whoever the professional accountant who provided, let's say that same professional accountant has provided the accountancy service, subsequently those accounts are reviewed and audited by the same professional accountant. Issue, no? Yes. Accounts prepared by the same accountant and audited by the same accountant. Self-review. Third one, advocacy. Professional accountant promoting the viewpoint, opinion of a client. Client requests you to, let's say, represent the client for a tender evaluation. You promoting the client's viewpoint, advocacy. Familiarity, long-standing relationship with a particular client, making you biased towards him. Familiar relationships. Last one, intimidation. Professional accountant is intimidated. Maybe client is intimidating you to take in legal actions, or maybe let's say legal actions, physical harassments, loss of employment, things like that. So go to page number 10. Page 10 in your Code of Ethics. Threats and safeguards. Part A, self-interest. The threat that the financial or other interest will inappropriately influence the professional accountant's judgment. Next one, self-review. The threat that a professional accountant will not appropriately evaluate the results of previous judgment he has done. Advocacy. The threat that professional accountant will promote client or employer's position. Familiar threat. The threat that due to long close relationship with a client, professional accountant will be too sympathetic to the client. Intimidation threat. Threat that a professional accountant will be deterred from acting objectively because of actual or perceived pressure. So those are the threats to independence. Read them again, students. Read them again.